You're not going to want to miss the next episode of the AI Show. We talk all about what's new in Azure AI Foundry March 2025 edition, but in April, just at the beginning. So it's okay. Make sure you tune in. Hello and welcome to this episode of the AI Show. We're talking about all about what's new in Azure AI Foundry March 2025 edition, coming to you at the beginning of April, where we break down the latest innovations in AI and how they're shaping the future. Today, we're recapping the great announcements from this morning's Microsoft 50th anniversary, as well as a recap of the announcements from March 2025. And one of the biggest shifts, of course, the rise of agents from enterprise knowledge integration to security automation. These updates are changing how developers and businesses approach AI-driven workflows. And to help us make sense of it all, I'm joined by Yina Arenas, VP of Product for Core AI at Microsoft, who's been at the forefront of this transformation. Welcome to the show. How are you doing, my friend?
Hello, Seth. Thank you for having me again. I'm excited to talk about all things about AI agents and how they're redefining enterprise AI.
All right, let's start with the big picture. AI models have been around for like 100 AI years already, but we're hearing a lot about agents lately. Tell us about that shift.
Great question, Seth. Traditional AI models are very, very powerful, but they've mostly been passive. Let me tell you what I mean by that. When you ask a model a question, then it responds. The shift towards agents is about making them more active so that they're capable of reasoning, taking action, collaborating with other agents, with humans, and solving complex problems. It's all about getting things faster, getting things done quickly, and getting them at a lower cost. For example, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, and that's awesome because that's a really great way to put it, because we're used to talking with these things and giving us stuff, but now you're saying it's more about they can do more than that, right?
Yes. I was just going to give you an example. For example, instead of just retrieving data, an AI agent can synthesize the insights, they can make decisions, they can automate workflows, they can make a plan, they can break into specific tasks, they can do all of the execution of those tasks and just get an end-to-end business process done. Now, the shift that is being driven by customer demand is like around more intelligence, enterprise-ready AI solutions, and that goes beyond that simple single-turn interaction on chat into like really powering business processes. Think about this like as an evolution from like a junior developer that is fresh out of the boot camp, that knows a lot, but is waiting for you to like tell him exactly what to do. Now, agents, on the other hand, are like a more senior engineer who just fixes the bug before you tell them, even file a ticket and get things done faster.
That's amazing. It makes sense. One of the biggest challenges, though, with AI in enterprises is ensuring that it's grounded in the right knowledge. How are we addressing that?
Yes, you're absolutely on point. Key to powerful AI agents is that they have reliable, context-aware grounding. And that's where Azure AI Agent Service comes in. It enables developers to securely connect all of the agents that were being created to structured data, semantic enterprise data, and ensuring the responses are accurate, relevant, and business-specific. We already have the Azure AI Agent Service in preview today. There's lots of capabilities that we're building and lots of enterprise readiness that like you're not going to find elsewhere. And we're introducing some major updates here. For example, we have new knowledge tools, including Microsoft Fabric, including some partners like TripAdvisor, and we have data agents that are powered by Microsoft Fabric, where developers can now enable conversational AIs over all of this structured enterprise data that they have, retrieving and synthesizing insights instead of just pulling static reports, because who wants static reports?
I know,
right?
I know, it's true.
So all of these knowledge tools on the Azure AI Agent Service help ground responses with structured data, with private data, with licensed data, with highly accurate AI outputs, and use that as the grounding for your agents. Another great example here is entity data. So instead of relying on static dashboards, their teams now interact with AI agents that analyze HR and operations, all of this in real time, surfacing the trends and insights dynamically into their workflow.
Yeah, and the thing I like about this is we are kind of drowning in information, but starving for knowledge here. And the cool thing about these models is when you ground them in these things, it's able to put together a bunch of sentences that may not work, but for us, it'll help us synthesize it and create a sentence for us to understand. And that's the thing I like about it the most.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. And this is This is a question that probably viewers have. As AI becomes more autonomous, security and safety are even bigger concerns. What do we have to help with that? Because people are going to be asking us that.
Well, as part of Azure AI Foundry offerings, we have the entire tool chain that you will need for continuous improvement of your applications. I'm going to give you a concrete example. We're introducing the AI red teaming agent in Azure AI Foundry, which, traditionally, red teaming is a known concept, right? Like we can red team AI models, proving them for security risks, and this has been so far a very manual, I will say, expensive and time-consuming task. Now with this agent, organizations can automate the entire process of red teaming and doing evaluations at scale. And it integrates with Microsoft Security, I can't remember how to pronounce this, the RIT framework.
The pirate. Oh, the reason why I like it is because it's called pirate, because it's like a red team, like pirate. That's how I remember it. I picture literally pirates with hats.
It's this potato type of thing.
Right.
It's Python risk identification tool to simulate all of these adversarial attacks. So think about it as it will kind of bombard your agent with all of these different set of scenarios that you can also control, and then generate a red teaming scorecard, providing you all of the insights that you need into these attack techniques and all of the outcomes. So what we are seeing is that over 50% of the businesses that today are relying on these manual evaluations can have a huge gain towards making their AI applications and their security more scalable.
Now everyone's going to remember this as the pirate hat because it's a pirate. But here's the thing: AI
why are you talking about bombarding the AI show?
We really dove into that one. I said dove in. This is terrible. All right, so AI agents sound great. But developers need tools that fit into the existing workflows to help them use this stuff. Because if we put agents somewhere over there and devs, we're in our own tools. What do we have to help with that?
I mean, in Azure AI Foundry, we're all about developers and a code first experience. So we're meeting developers where they work with VS Code, of course, in VS Code. We now have improved public preview, a new extension that lets developers build agentic applications without leaving the tool, without leaving the IDE. We can use pre-built code templates and also integrate with the playground. And we can seamlessly integrate with other VS Code extensions, so you can navigate from all the things that you need in your development journey, from planning to your inner loop, to your outer loop, to your continuous operation, and have everything at your fingertips. Now, if you're an AI developer, that means that you can experiment, test, and deploy all of these agents faster than ever. No more context switching, right? My commitment to all of you is keep you on the task, keep you with all things in context, and just make sure that you can have an integrated experience end to end.
And that's cool because, like I said, these agents are going to change things. Well, like you said, these agents are going to change things. But let's move to the next, because if I can make one agent do awesome things, I could probably make a lot of agents together do a lot more things. One of the exciting trends is multi-agent collaboration. What do we have for that?
That's a great point, and a place where I'm absolutely excited about what's happening on this space. Multi-agent systems are the next evolution of enterprise AI. The way that I think about this, Seth, is that you and I have talked about this. Mm-hmm. We should think about agents as this microservices. It's akin to the microservice architecture, right? Where you have agents that you can evaluate, that you can observe, that you can validate that they meet their specific scenario, right? And then you want to compose them with each other to create this workflow, to create this business process that you can have an end-to-end completion through. So instead of just having a single AI handling all the tasks, right? Having this there's kind of different schools of thoughts, right? Having a single program that does everything and brings you coffee. You can have these specialized agents working together, and each of those agents you can evaluate. You can have the entire tool chain, tracing, monitoring, and you can optimize that particular agent, right? So for example, we have frameworks today, right? We have the latest and greatest on research coming in from our Microsoft research team on what framework that is called Autogen. Mm-hmm. Many of our listeners probably know about it and probably have played with all of these things that are part of Autogen. That is entirely focused on where do we innovate in terms of the latest multi-agent architectures, and then we look at like how do we bring that into the product that developers can like take into production, right? Like it's not about just like the latest and greatest. It's about like, okay, how do we harden it to bring that into production? And that's where they'll find in things like semantic kernel, which is a framework that they can use into the code to help orchestrate multi-agent processes. Now, we're working on more things to make sure that like, we can have that same level of capabilities on the service as well. But right now, we're announcing the general availability of the agent framework in semantic kernel. That means that it makes it easier for all of these agents to be coordinated and reduces the code that, as a developer, you need to write. And we have multiple organizations already using semantic kernel for this, like KPMG, like a few others. I'm like spacing on like the names, but like they orchestrate workflows among specialized agents, dramatically reducing the deployment and complexity. And it's not just agents that are built with our platform. It's agents that like, may come from, if you build them using some other framework, if you build them using Crew AI, or like if you build them using some other platform, like you can come use semantic kernel, you can orchestrate them, you can build a multi-agent orchestration process with it. And it's really a game changer in terms of like how business are looking to scale the AI-powered applications into like that decision-making and getting things done, as I mentioned before.
Yeah, and I love the way that we're looking at this from, I love the way you're describing it as a developer, like an agent is now like a new developer abstraction, that there's multiple ways to do it. We give you ways to do it, but you can also bring your way of doing it as well, I think is what I'm hearing.
Yes, absolutely.
So AI agents are evolving fast, but efficiency is super important and performance is key for enterprise AI. What are we doing to help with efficiency and performance?
Oh gosh, efficiency and performance in platform, they go hand by hand. And we've made big moves to optimize on AI efficiency. We recently announced a partnership with NVIDIA on NIM microservices and Agent IQ Toolkit. These are enabled high-performance models that have been specifically tuned for AI inferencing with the NVIDIA NIMs and scaling effortlessly on Azure's managed compute. Right, like so that's one key partnership when it comes to moving forward on AI efficiency. The second one that I'll mention is for customers that are using the Azure OpenAI service. We now have spillover on our provisioned offering. This means that you can reroute the excess traffic that you have and ensure a smooth curve in your AI operations, even during peak demand, right? Like, you reach to your peak and then you spill over into pay-go and then you can continuously operate your services. So all of these updates like help on scaling, help on performance, and help make sure that costs stay predictable. Like, everyone cares about like, how do we make sure that my costs are predictable? How do I make sure that my performance remains high? Well, these announcements help with that.
Well, this has been quite a whirlwind deep dive into agents, and more agents for enterprise AI. Before we wrap, any final thoughts?
Yes. Seth, you know this. We are creating the agent factory with Azure AI Foundry to empower developers to build advanced agents. From doing a single agent, from orchestrating agents, to like making sure that developers have all the tools that they need to do the full continuous improvement cycle. So if you're a developer looking to build smarter AI-driven workflows, now is the time to explore these tools. All of the things that we have to offer, from the Azure AI Agent Service to the red teaming agent to semantic kernel to the VS Code integration, these innovations are designed to help you accelerate AI adoption securely, especially for enterprise scenarios.
Yeah, and I know that's the part that I think Microsoft does really well. I talk to customers all the time. You know this. AI is awesome. But once you want to get it into a repeatable and reliable enterprise process, I think, Azure AI Foundry is the best for that.
I joke that like, you put them into production and they, it's like a teenager. You don't know how they're going to behave.
That's right.
So you need the right tools to make sure that they're meeting your scenarios. And that is one of the things that Azure AI Foundry offers.
That's hilarious. I usually say it's like a free puppy. That you gotta take care of. Teenager and puppy, same thing. All right. So where can people go to find out more?
I mean, that's one thing that I want everyone to take, which is ai.azure.com. That's the place you will go to and get access to all the tools. Of course, we have our Azure blog. We continuously bring in all of the latest news into the blog. So follow us there. Follow us here on the show. I mean, like we're like, committing to like do this monthly updates. But like, the one thing to remember, ai.azure.com.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being with us, Yina.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for watching and learning all about what's new in Azure AI Foundry March 2025 edition. Make sure you stay tuned, subscribe, and let's build the future of AI together. I'm pretty excited. We'll see you next time.